Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you guys are watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. I want to just say thank you for anybody who's taken the time to come in to check out the knife and EDC content. I appreciate you more than you know. If you're so inclined and you haven't had a chance yet, if I could convince you to hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon, it would really help me out. And I want to give a special shout out to all the channel members. Thank you all so much. And I want to give a shout out to my local buddy, A to Z EDC, at A to Z EDC over on Instagram. He's the one that let me borrow this knife and hang on to it for a while to check it out. And this is kind of a cool one. It's outside of my wheelhouse, but since I've had the chance to hang out with it for a while, I really enjoy it. And we'll just get into it. This is the PENA Bravo 1 liner lock in black micarta. Get this out of the way. If I'm not mistaken, this is a Riot OEM knife, liner lock. So when I look at it, the micarta feels very nice, very smooth. It says it's a liner lock, but if you look at the micarta here, you can see that it's almost an internal frame lock. M390 blade steel, great pocket clip, really nice contoured back spacer that is kind of copper colored to match the pivot collar. So it is a front flipper, sheep's foot blade, flat ground, been used a good bit. Let's see if it still cuts paper. This is not a new knife. And this knife is going to be going to see SATIN Dave to get a hollow grind. Very slicey for a tall flat, 3/4 flat. So you've got this belt satin finish, M390 blade with thumb studs. You've got jimping right here on the blade, which is really the front flipper jimping. And then you've got this contoured back spacer, which kind of gives you some jimping in the butt of your hand. But the clip, you feel it, but it does not create a hot spot. I consider this a full-on medium-sized knife. We'll do some comparisons and some weights and measurements here in a little while. But the blade to me is very sexy. Kind of a sheep's foot, reverse tanto-y style blade. I don't know what that is. Hold on, guys. A little smuts on one of my thumb studs. But anyway, really well done knife. The action on it, because it says liner lock, but it's this internal frame lock. And it's just cash money. The thumb studs, the detent fires, drop shut, reverse flicks money, drop shut. The front flipper, which I hate, is money, drop shut. Very well done knife. Perfectly centered, perfectly executed. I'm surprised this knife was not more on my radar, because it's not a new knife. It is an older version of a knife that he picked up on. I didn't get the chance to experience when it came out because it wasn't on my radar. The sharpening choil leaves a little bit to be desired there. You've got your plunge grind terminating about right here. So you've maybe got a couple of sharpenings there before you get into that plunge. And I don't think you can cut in anything there because I think it intersects that stop pin right there. So that's the no bueno. But yeah, just a really cool knife. Let's do a couple of quick size comparisons. and see how it stacks up with some of our, sorry about that guys, cat walking through. She should move on. I apologize. Go on. Let's look at it next to the Cold Steel 4MAX. And our Civivi Baby Banter as she steps on the blade and lays down. So it's going to be smaller than the 4MAX, much larger than the Baby Banter. Let's look at it next to the Benchmade Bug Out. Right about 1/8 of an inch larger than the Bug Out. About an inch shorter than the PM2. So let's get our Javon tape measure. And we will learn that this knife comes in right over 7.5 inches with a 3 1/8 inch blade, 3-inch cutting sharpened edge, 4 1/4, a little bit over 4 1/4 inch handle. Where I grip the knife, you're looking at right at 4 inches. So from right here to right here is 4 inches. There is no lanyard tube on here, which is no issue to me. It's just to be noted. But the reverse flick, the thumb studs position perfectly. They're done very well. I love these conical thumb studs that have texturing and a little pyramid top there. I don't know if you can see that very well. But the jimping on the front flipper's done excellent. It goes over the top. So whether you're front flipping it from up front or if you just catch it on the top, it works very well. Let's see if I can do this without cutting myself in the hand. But again, that was my finger hitting it. But I'm a reverse flicker guy. And this knife, the way that the studs are positioned, you can front flip it all day long. Or reverse flick it. Detent, cash money. Because the thumb studs are just so positioned that your finger just pushes up and the knife deploys. Same with the top flipper. Same with the reverse flick. Just a really nice package. I've never ever been a pinion knife guy. They've never drawn my attention. I always thought they were front flippers, more traditional looking. I'd never seen this X Series Bravo, what did I say, Bravo 1? Yeah, the Bravo 1. They call it a liner lock on the sticker. I would disagree. I would call that an internal frame lock with the micarta skin, which is great because you're not putting any pressure on that frame lock because of that micarta scale. Really nicely done. I'm thinking it's OEM by Riot. Let's get a quick weight on this guy. And then we'll get a couple of thickness measurements. It's going to be a heavier knife. 3.95 ounces. We had about a 3 1/4 inch blade. Let's see what we've got. Clear that out. Our blade stock is 0.1400. Our handle thickness, because these are contoured scales, it's going to be right at 0.54. Our behind the edge thickness And at the top of that bevel, 0.0250 roughly. So yeah, guys, that is the PENA Bravo 1 production model, OEM by Riot, titanium internal frame lock, titanium frame with really nice micarta scales, front flipper with thumb studs, and just a big winner, guys. I hope y'all found this somehow informative, educational, helpful, right? Something that was maybe worth your time. But I'm glad I opened it up, spent some time with it. I'm getting this sent off with several other knives when Satu Dave's ready to get a hollow ground put on it. Sending a couple of hinderers and a cold steel too, so I'll be anxious to get these sent off and get them back. Love the swedge here at the top of the blade. There's really not much not to like, guys. So this is the PENA Bravo 1. They call it a liner lock. I call it an internal frame lock. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you've stayed this long and you haven't had a chance yet, if you're so inclined, please hit that subscribe button. But more importantly, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose to bait, not hate. Be up. Thanks, Joe Isabella. I love you all. Peace.